Hello everyone, my story's name is Lady Mengjiang Cries at Great Wall. Long ago, during China's Qin dynasty, the first emperor ordered the construction of the Great Wall to protect the country from invasion. Thousands of ordinary people were forced to leave their homes and work under terrible conditions. Many never returned. In a small village lived a kind and gentle young woman named Meng Jiang. One autumn, soldiers were searching everywhere for young men to build the Great Wall. Everyone in the village lived in fear. People stayed indoors during the day and even avoided lighting lamps at night. One day, while Meng Jiang was hanging clothes in her yard, she heard a strange noise behind the house. She carefully walked over and found a frightened young man hiding beneath the grapevines. His face was pale, and his whole body was shaking. She asked softly, "Who are you? Why are you hiding here?" The young man replied, "My name is Fan Xiliang. Soldiers are forcing people to build the Great Wall. I have been running for days. I have nowhere else to go." Seeing how helpless he looked, Meng Jiang felt sorry for him. She secretly hid him in her home, brought him food and water, and protected him from the soldiers. As the day passed, they spent more time together. Fan Xiliang was gentle, intelligent, and kind. Meng Jiang was brave and caring. Before long, they fell in love. With the blessing of their parents, they were married. On their wedding day, bright lanterns decorated the house, and family friends come to celebrate. Meng Jiang believed her happy life had finally begun, but before the wedding feast was even over, the sound of galloping horses suddenly echoed outside. Someone shouted, "The soldiers are here." The celebration instantly turned into panic. Several soldiers rushed into the house and shouted, "Where is Fan Xiliang? By the emperor's order, he must go to build the Great Wall." Meng Jiang held tightly onto her husband's arm and cried, "Please, he was just married today. Please don't take him away." But the soldiers ignored her. They dragged Fan Xiliang away by force. As he disappeared, he turned back only once. In that final glance was love, fear, and happiness. From that day on, Meng Jiang waited for him every single day. Spring passed, summer passed, autumn leaves turned yellow, winter snow covered the earth. But Fan Xiliang never came home. Finally, Meng Jiang made a decision. If he couldn't return, she would go and find him herself. She carefully made warm winter clothes for her husband, packed a small bag, and began the long journey north. She crossed mountains and walked through forests and slept outdoors. Sometimes heavy snow covered the roads and she walked barefoot through the frozen cold. Sometimes she had no food and survived only on small pieces of bread given by kind strangers. Many people warned her, "Don't go. Most people who built the Great Wall never returned." But Meng Jiang simply held the winter clothes tightly into her arm and kept walking. He believed with all her heart, as long as I can find him, we can still go home together. After many months, he finally arrived at the Great Wall. It was vast, cold, and silent. The frozen wind below across endless grey stones. Workers in torn clothes carried heavy rocks while soldiers shouted and wiped them. Meng Jiang searched everywhere. She asked every worker she met, "Have you seen Fan Xiliang?" At last, an old worker lowered his head and quietly said, "Young lady, you come too late. Fan Xiliang died long ago." Meng Jiang stood frozen. She could hardly believe what she has heard. "No, that can't be true. He promised he would come home." The old man sighed. "Too many workers died here. Many of them were buried beneath the Great Wall." At that moment, it felt as if her whole world had fallen apart. She knelt before the Great Wall, still holding the winter clothes she had made with love. The cold wind lifted her hair. Dark clouds filled the sky. Then she cried for the love she had waited for. She cried for her husband who has died so far from home. She cried for all the innocent people who had suffered from the rule. She cried through the day, through the night. Her cries were so powerful, so full of sorrow, that suddenly a deafening sound shook the earth. Parts of the Great Wall collapsed. Dust filled the air. Beneath the broken stones lay countless white beings. Everyone stood in silence. Meng Jiang searched carefully among them until she finally found the remains of her husband. She gently held winter clothes close to her heart. By then, there were no tears left to cry. For generations, people have continued to tell this story because Lady Meng Jiang didn't simply cry down a wall. She revealed the suffering of countless ordinary people and reminded us that love and compassion can never truly be buried by cruelty or oppression. Thank you.